Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, two-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and founder of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP, and owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting. Tonight, we have an amazing special guest by the name of Karri Turner. A little bit about her. As one of the nation's most vibrant, promising, and emerging leaders, a native of Las Vegas, Nevada, Karri Turner has been advocating on behalf of youth and young adults for more than a decade. Her aim has been to bring a critical and significant voice to an otherwise overlooked and unheard generation. She has done this through a variety of concepts designed to promote citizen diplomacy and activism to ensure healthy and positive development for the next generation of youth and young adults. Karri is a consummate professional. She has many years of experience with signature program design, development, implementation, and evaluation. She has worked with Fulton County Human Services Department, Office of Children and Youth, served as the National Director of Youth Program Development for the National Conference of Black Mayors, Director of Membership and Marketing at the Villages at Carver Family YMCA, consultant to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and President and Chief Executive Officer of 20-Something Inc., a charitable organization designed to provide personal and professional development exclusively for young women ages 20 to 29. Karri has most recently been named Director of the Office of Youth Services, where she is responsible for the management, development, and implementation of programming for more than 168,000 children and youth for DeKalb County government. Karri Turner has received numerous awards and honors, such as being named Who's Who's among American colleges and universities, the Distinguished Leadership and Service Award from the City of Atlanta, the Valor Award for Outstanding Leadership and Service, and recognition for participation in the Harvard World Model United Nations in Athens, Greece. She was selected as a fellow in the prestigious Frontline Leaders Academy, where she was elected the People for the American Way Foundation Youth Ambassador. She is also an alumni of the Atlanta Women's Foundation, Destiny Fund, and former participant of the White House Project New York City Go Run Training. Karri is alumni of the United Way VIP Volunteer Involvement Program and former chairwoman of the Douglas County Democratic Party. Karri is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and served as the basis of Gamma Gamma Chapter. In a world in search of new leadership, Karri Turner is at the forefront of a new generation of exceptional leaders. Karri holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Political Science from the legendary Morris Brown College and a Master of Divinity degree from the Cantler School of Theology at Emory University. Karri is currently pursuing a doctorate in ministry with a concentration in Christian leadership and renewal. Karri is the author of the Girl Bible, an ordained clergywoman, philanthropist, and motivational speaker who travels the country inspiring women. Welcome to the table, the amazing Karri Turner.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
I am excited to interview you. I'm so honored and humbled to have you on the show at the table.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for doing this. This is such an incredible platform.
Thank you so much. So you have such an amazing bio, Karri. So can you tell us about your entrepreneur journey?
Yeah, I think that I have been like, most people who have these dual lives, where we work in corporate or work in government, during the day, and then we just have this, pursuit of more that is attached to our calling, which just so happens to be also attached to entrepreneurship. And so I think it has been something that has always been in me. I think it just kind of took some time to really kind of fuel and stir and for me to become confident in. But yeah, I just wanted to really kind of find a way to be able to pursue my call and do what I love, and that has been attached to being an entrepreneur in the process.
I love it. I just want to say I follow you on social media, and you're just awesome, okay? Consistently,
you're consistent
basically reaching back and pulling forward, and you walking. You're not just talking, you walking it too. So I just want to say commend you for all the great things that you're doing. You are welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. So you have been advocating on behalf of youth, which is pretty awesome, and young adults for more than a decade. And your aim is to bring them together, right? The unheard generation. So please tell our listening audience more about your passion for the youth, which is so important.
Yeah, so Charlie, has probably been more than a decade at this point, so I probably need to update that. I'm getting old. But yeah, so I have listened, even as a girl growing up in Las Vegas, on the west side of Las Vegas, Nevada, I have always been involved in some way in politics, which is why my degree was in political science, because for a long time I thought that I would run for office. That's what I was, training for. That's what I thought my path would take me. And so even as a youth, I was, leading marches, and we were doing town hall meetings. I was, doing voter registration, all of those things. And so from that passion, I had always been passionate about, giving youth the opportunity to do some of the same things. And so a lot of my professional background, as a matter of fact, my very first job out of college was being a youth program coordinator for a local county government here. And so it's interesting that life has kind of come full circle, where I now lead an office for another county government that does similar work, really doing the same kind of things, but at different levels. And so, I've always wanted to create space for youth to thrive and to be exposed to things that's going to help them chart their future. They're not next, but they are now. And, what we invest in the lives of young people now will shape our country, shape our families, for years and for generations to come. And so, during the day, I lead an incredible team, and we do, signature youth program development for youth 0 to 24, and now it's actually over 200,000 youth. And so it's just a privilege to be able to, to do that type of work, and to be able to kind of set a safe environment for young people to overcome their obstacles and be able to thrive. So it's really, truly one of the areas of my heart.
I love that, because our youth need it. There's so much going on with the bullying and all the things with our youth right now, and they need us. So what are some of the challenges, and I know you can't share so much, but what are some of the challenges that you've seen with our youth right now? Because I know bullying is one of the huge ones.
Yeah, definitely bullying. And bullying, it takes on many different forms, especially now that we have social media. So there's cyberbullying, in addition to some students being physically bullied as well. And we have all seen, that cases have risen with, young students committing suicide because of these types of things. And so I would definitely say bullying. And in addition to that, I would also say, mental health issues that surround youth. There are many things that youth battle every day and don't always have a very safe environment or a safe place to be able to talk those things out and get the necessary help that they need. We know that youth violence, is always a challenge, in terms of, different things that are happening in communities, gangs, and just a lot of different things, drugs. And, there are a number of things that that affect the lives of youth, coming from homes that might not be, economically sound, where education might be limited. And so there are a number of things that impact them. And I get to see every day youth that are very resilient, who are determined, to stay on the right path, and some who have made mistakes but are seeking the help that they need to go in the direction that they need to go in. And then there are some youth who do come from great backgrounds, you know what I mean, where they are just really kind of trying to find their voice in the world and maintain the legacy of the family that they've come from. So I get a chance to kind of see a melting pot of youth. The particular county that I work in is probably the diversest county in the state of Georgia in terms of various cultures, ethnicities, and, folks from different backgrounds that live there. So we're talking about, youth from all over the world. We're talking about refugees. And so that experience is different for each one of them. You know what I mean? And, we want to try to find programming that, speaks to them, helps them to grow, and helps them to thrive.
I love it. And is there any ways that our listeners can get involved to help? Is there any volunteer opportunities?
Well, I would, so So I would not give that out here because I'm not technically I'm not speaking on behalf of the county. So that's not my role here. I'm just kind of sharing a part of what I do. So I wouldn't want to do, I don't want to get in trouble, y'all, so I don't want to do that.
Okay, awesome. So you are the president and chief executive officer of 20-something. That's a charitable organization. Can we talk more about that one?
Yeah, sure. So 20-something was really something that was birthed out of my heart in 2007 when I graduated from college in, I think, Lord, was it 2003? I can't even remember at this point. But I graduated from college, and I was beginning to start my professional career, and I didn't have a lot of mentors. I didn't have a lot of women in particular that I could turn to as I was navigating life in my 20s and starting a career. At the time, I was just getting married, later into my 20s, and so my life was taking on all of these different forms that I just had no point of reference for, and I could not easily find women that I felt safe around and that I could connect with. And so 20-something was birthed out of wanting to provide that in which I felt like I did not have. A safe place for women to thrive professionally, personally, emotionally, spiritually, and be exposed to, things that would help them to cultivate their life in greater ways as they're in pursuit of finding their purpose. And so 20-something is founded exclusively for women in their 20s. So I think it's such a critical stage for women. You're going through so many different things from 20 to 29, what I mean? And so I wanted to just kind of be able to create a space to provide, leadership development and support amongst many other things to help them thrive.
Awesome. And I do want to thank you for creating that space. You're right. We go through so many different emotions, right? Spiritually, mentally, physically. So I just want to thank you for creating that. We all need that space to be able to silence the noise and just, take a moment and do that self-care and learn what's going on and making sure that we're on the right journeys and taking care of our mental health, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So you are the author of the Girl Bible and She's Lit 40 Daily Prayers of Light. So please tell us about your amazing books and how we can support and purchase them.
Yeah, so the Girl Bible I published in, I want to say, late 2014, and the Girl Bible really focuses on, love, life, and God. It's really a kind of go-to guide for the modern Christian woman. That's what it's built around, and so it's rooted in Scripture, and I talk about things, I talk about love and what that looks like as it relates to the reflection of Christ and what that looks like as we're in relationship with women and we're in relationship with men. I talk about, exposure, and I talk about, giving and receiving and the difference between ambition versus purpose. So it was my first book, so one of my first babies that that I love and I think is helpful for women of all ages. And then I put out She's Lit, I believe, in 2017, and She's Lit is really a devotional. I wanted women to, and in this time where comparison is such a huge thing, we're always constantly comparing ourselves a lot of times. I wanted, women to be able to find the light within themselves, which, of course, ignited through the light of Christ. And so I went through, 40 days and developed 40 prayers that were based on, 40 different scriptures specifically on light, along with quotes that deal with light as well. So it's really something that I think is pretty awesome, as you build it into your day-to-day life for 40 days, where you can focus on what is inside of you and how to share that with the world versus trying to take something that somebody else got and duplicate it. You don't have to duplicate what you already have in a greater way. So that's what She's Lit is about. And, folks can purchase them, of course, on Amazon, or they can get them directly from my site at www.Karri, Turner, KarriTurner.org.
I love it. And I remember watching one of your videos on Instagram, and you were talking about the comparison game and that, if it's for you, can't nobody take it. They can't do it like you. Could you speak a little bit more about that? Because a lot of people are caught in the comparison game. That is very contagious.
Yeah, I think that it is a spirit, especially since social media. I think it's something that we all battle every day. I don't care how amazing you are. I don't care how many businesses you got. I don't care, I don't care how much money you have. If you have to scroll and watch other people in their lives all day, every day, there is some type of way it causes you to find some sort of deficiency in your own life, and you can dwell on that deficiency and feel like you are less than or X, Y, and Z. And so, really what I was saying is that, a part of how we kill comparison is, number one, kind of pulling back and understanding that we don't all know the full truth behind what we see from people every day. And so you can't measure your life behind what you don't fully know. And even if you do fully know it, comparison is killed when we are able to understand our own identity. When we can understand our own identity, we can understand our own purpose, and then we can really know that we each have truly been designed uniquely, and that there is something that God has placed in us that don't nobody else got, and that's not to think more highly of ourselves than we should. It's just to say that, listen, there is something about me that is special, and if I can focus on that in which is special, then I don't have time to focus on things that cause me to compare myself to other people. And so that's really what it's about, just taking the time to figure out the best things about who you are, and even the things that you may consider to be weaknesses, figuring out how to address those weaknesses and and make yourself stronger so that you can impact the world. We can't impact the world if we're constantly trying to be like something or somebody else. It dilutes us. And we just don't need that. There are enough copies of everything else, child. We need to fully be ourselves, and that's work. It takes every day getting up to say, you know what, God, I'm focusing on what you called me to do. I accept me. I love me. I want to be able to help the world with my gifts and my talents. And so it's a daily decision to reject comparison and embrace, the special things that are about you.
And I love everything that you said, but it's also so important. I know you speak on this a lot, to protecting our peace and our space. It's so important to do that.
Yeah, you have to, because I think, where peace is interrupted by things like comparison, because we only have a piece of the story, and we begin to build a full narrative around something that we don't even fully know to be true. So, peace and protecting it is important, making sure that we have a foundation and our core is right, our heart is right. Those are the things that matter.
Yes. And I pray that every day, Lord, keep my heart right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. So please tell the listening audience about your Nudge Mentorship Initiative and how we can support it and get involved.
Yeah, so the Nudge is one of my babies. It's a mentorship initiative. It took me a long time to actually do it, because I thought, well, I don't know if I have anything to offer people. You know what I mean? I want to be able to really offer them something. But, I prayed about it, and, I think we all have something to offer. It just depends on what the need is and whether or not there is a need for what you have to offer. And, and so, again, I'm always birthing things out of areas in my life where I've noticed a deficiency, and I don't want people to have to go through the same thing. I've reached out to people. I'm like, oh my God, can you mentor me? Can you walk with me? They're like, no, you don't need a mentor. And I'm like, what? Yes, I do need a mentor. You know what I mean? But instead of continuing trying to, to chase people, you can't make people do that. My thing was, okay, maybe there's a reason why, God didn't allow that to be. And now that that's the case, okay, what do I have in me that I can offer to other women to help them grow? Because truly, it is my heart to watch other women thrive, to come into themselves, to really begin to fully walk in, their gifts and their talents and confidence. And so, the Nudge is really just me having an opportunity to help women, streamline their goals and take a look at their life, to look at their strengths and to look at their weaknesses, to maximize their time and to figure out how they can grow, how they can tap into spiritual gifts, and how they can move in whatever areas they decide, and really just being a level of accountability and support. I bring myself, I bring my resources, I bring, everything that I am, so that I can help them in some way in the process. And so the Nudge is, I started it, I think, a year or two ago, and so we have had a number of graduates that have come through, and we started our spring class at the top of March, and so we'll be done with that at the end of June, and then we'll be accepting applications for the next class. And so if you're interested, you can, again, go to my website at www.karriturner.org, and we have the application there and all of the information. And, you know, I personally look over them. I personally pray over them, and, you know, we select students that, you know, I know that in some way I would be able to help or their life would be impacted by our connection.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. So make sure, listeners, that you get involved. Get involved because she is amazing. She is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely get involved. So we all have a process on our journey, Karri. So what did failure teach you?
Oh, child, what didn't it teach me? Listen,
Okay.
My goodness. Yeah, failure, it has taught me so much. We would be here all night if I list how many times I have failed and the things that it has taught me. But, you know, I think the greatest lesson that it has taught me is that failure is just really redirection. You know, failure is redirecting you in the path or in the space, the place that you are supposed to go. And, you know, if you're ever going to be successful, failure has to be a part of the equation. It's just what it is. You know, and so I think when you can put failure in perspective and understand that it's not a space in which you live, in which you dwell, but it's an experience that you have that is truly just designed to teach and reroute you, then you begin to look at life in a much different way. And so, you know, I truly believe that all things work together, and so that means failures included. You know, what we may see as a failure might be truly something that is really a gift in our life, and we don't even know it. So, you know, failure has just taught me that it's just a part of the process. I think failure keeps you humble. I think failure keeps you sensitive to other people. I think hopefully, it may not be for everybody, but I know for me, I think failure, you know, has kept me honest. You know, it's kept me transparent. You know what I mean? You can't really be a jerk. You can't really be arrogant when you have failed enough times because you know what that feels like. And it allows you to be compassionate to people who might be experiencing the same thing. So I can never look my nose down on people or be judgmental because I've just fallen too many times to do that. So I understand it. But failure is not as bad as I think we think it is. It's really something I think that's just designed to help and strengthen and grow us in our journey.
Yes, and you know what? Everything that you said was absolutely correct. And, you know, staying humble, it would definitely teach you humbleness and to show grace.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what did success teach you?
Success has taught me that it does not happen in a vacuum, that success is really a culmination of a series of choices that we make every day, a series of decisions that we make every day. It has taught me that success has to be sustained. It's not something you just get, then you just done, but it's something that requires work every single day. You know, success is based off of systems. The success is not this magical thing that just kind of falls out of the sky. Success is about alignment. Success is about systems. Success is about discipline. Success is about dedication and discipline and hard work. And so, you know, all those things I think equate to success. And I think success looks different for many people. I think one of the things that, you know, we all have to do is define what success looks like for us in our personal life as it relates to our journey and our purpose and what we're designed to do.
I love that. So, Karri, you have had an amazing year. Like I said, I've been following you. You've been doing. You're amazing. So we know we hit quarter one. Now you're in quarter two. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
Oh my goodness, Lord! You know, prayerfully, I will continue to remain. You know, the Lord will continue to use me. I'll be able to kind of share my gifts with the world. So I hope to be able to do that. I have some goodies. You know, some new products that's going to be coming out, some workshops coming out, and there might be a conference. So, there's quite a few things that I'm working on this year that I'm excited about.
I love it. Well, I know God is going to continue to bless you, and I can't wait to continue to see all the amazing things He's going to do in your life this year. Can't wait to see.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Would you please tell the listening audience again how they can follow and contact you?
Yes, absolutely. So you can follow me on Instagram at Ms. Karri Baby. That's MzKarriBaby. I'm on Facebook at Karri Turner, Karri Turner. And then, of course, via email at info@karriturner.org. And, of course, on my website at www.karriturner.org.
Awesome. You're very busy schedule to come on the show today, and I can't wait to invite you back before the end of 2019.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, and blessings to every single thing that you do. I pray that your show is expanded and it reaches tons and tons and tons of people.
Thank you so much, Karri. I received that, and many, many blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.